3 yin yoga poses before you go to bed. That's all you need. Let's start with just a little warm up though, so we can prepare our body to have some stillness for a little bit. So seated cat and cow. On the inhale, arch the back, make the shoulders wide. And then round through the spine, round through the shoulders, and move back and forth with that range of motion a few times. Maybe look over one shoulder on an inhale and then the other shoulder. It is okay to give yourself permission to take 15 minutes at the end of your day before you go to bed. And it's a nice reset. Yin yoga is for connective tissues. So we're not doing any cardio, we're not building muscle. It's to lengthen connective tissues. Go ahead and bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet to the earth, and windshield wiper the knees back and forth. Knees to one side, back through center to the other. We're in yin yoga poses for several minutes, so that's why there's only 3 in 15 minutes. We'll do a couple of twists, and then we will do a supported reclined butterfly. And those are the 3 poses that I would do before I went to bed, especially if I need to reset my thought process to go into sleep mode. The great thing about yin yoga is not just the physical part, but energetically, emotionally, we're trying to get into parasympathetic nervous system, which is the opposite of fight or flight. We'll start with a couple of twists. So I'm gonna roll my blanket up. You can grab any blanket you want. If you don't have one of the woven blankets, just a throw blanket that has some sturdiness to it. Roll it up like a blanket burrito and roll to your back for a moment. Let's go ahead and massage out the low back by drawing the knees into the chest and rocking side to side just a little bit. And then get a little stretch, and I'm probably gonna stretch out of the frame of the camera, but that is okay. That's what happens when you live in 600 square feet. You do your yoga practice in front of the fireplace before you go into the bedroom at night. So, soles of the feet on the earth, scoot your hips to the left, bring your knees to the right, and blanket right in between the legs so that you don't over-rotate through the low back. Bring the arms out wide or drape the arms over the head, and maybe bring the arms a little farther to the left. From here, you can close your eyes. Maybe find a focus point in the ceiling if that's more comfortable. And take a few deep breaths just to set the tone of your yin yoga practice for the evening. Deep breaths in, pause at the top of the inhale, and then long exhales out. For your evening practice, I'd really like you to dial in or tune into the exhale. Try and make the exhale as soft but as long as you possibly can. The key to your yin yoga practice is trying to calm the mind. Use a little meditation if you don't have a meditation practice. Try closing the eyes and following the light patterns that are left behind when the eyes are closed. But also let go of muscle tension and muscle engagement. It's okay to be still here. Every time you exhale, try and soften a little more. Relax the hands, relax the feet. Let the hips feel heavier. Even relax the jaw. Release the bottom jaw by making space between the top teeth and the bottom teeth. You're going to take about 8 more breaths, 8 long breaths. Maybe you count the exhale as a form of meditation. Meditation does not have to be complicated. Every time you exhale, add another count. See if you can make it longer. Soften a little more. 4 more breaths. Try and let go of anything that's weighing on your mind. So whatever happened throughout the day, it's always a good idea in your yoga practice to check in to whatever's distracting you. Notice it, but then try and let it go. Use the exhale to let that go. Let go of the emails, the text messages, the drive home. Let it all float away. Take one more deep breath here. Hold the inhale. And then very slowly, try and move as slowly as you can in this evening practice. Move the knees back through center. Just the soles of the feet on the earth. Level out the hips. Take a pause between sides. Maybe move the shoulders away from the ears. You can even lift the hips up slightly and set them back down for support. And just take a couple breaths here, noticing how your body feels, even after one pose. Notice how your body feels. Do you feel more still? Do you feel calmer? Notice how the breath changes. Let's take it to the other side. Scoot the hips to the right, bring the knees to the left. I lost my blanket roll a little bit, so I'll just get that over there. Blanket in between the knees. Arms can be out wide, or you can bring the arms over the head and drape them off to the right. Once you get in your spot, and make sure your twist is from the middle of the back, trying to wring out all of that tightness from the day. Take a couple of deep breaths in. I call them transition breaths. Deep breaths in, pause at the top of the inhale, and then long exhale out. Start to relax again. If when you were moving, you brought back any muscle engagement or muscle tension, you want to use the exhale to relax, to let go of all of that. From the toes to the top of the head, do a little full body relaxation. Every exhale, relax another part of the body. Feet, legs, maybe spend a couple of breaths on the hips. Mid-back, upper back, arms, hands, very important. And then the whole face again, the jaw, the eyes, the back of the neck even. As you start to relax more and as you start to let go more, you might feel these little stutter steps as your muscles release and you start to lengthen all of this connective tissue. Breathe through that. Try not to pull back. Allow the stillness, allow the peace. You have about 6 more breaths here. Once again, make the exhales longer. You can come back to counting the exhales, or if you've already set the pattern to your breath, it will just come naturally. Breaths. Last inhale, take a deep breath. Hold it, and as slowly as you can move, bring the legs back through center, hips back through center. Level out the hips on the earth. Arms can be along the side. Wiggle the shoulders away from the ears. And notice what's happening in the body again. Are you starting to feel the release? Even after a couple of poses, there's usually a difference. Maybe it's not huge at first, but there's always a difference. Notice what that is. And then we'll bring the knees into the chest again. Rock side to side just a little bit. And then very slowly come up to seated. We're going to take that blanket roll and place it behind our back. Your tailbone or your low back will be right up to the end of the blanket. I call it a blanket burrito. Bring the soles of the feet together, the knees out wide. Lie back. Arms can be out wide. Maybe drape the arms over the head, but lift the hips up. Settle the sacrum down. That's the lower part of the spine. Find the levelness. If you have tight hips, you can place 2 more blankets underneath the thighs. And then a deep breath in, hold it. And then exhale, relax everything down. Pause here. And I'm not going to talk as much through this one. You know the drill now. Take a couple of transition breaths. Do a full body relaxation exercise using the exhale to relax each part of the body, including the face. And be still for a couple of more minutes. That's all you have to do, a couple of more minutes. Maybe 5 more breaths here. Now this is a great spot if you are comfortable and you are really letting go and you feel more relaxed. Maybe you stay here for a few extra minutes. You can even do this in your own bed. Now if you need to listen to me, that's fine. But remember, you want to put the phone or the tablet outside of the bedroom before you actually go to sleep. But this is a great way to settle in your own bed, especially with the softness of your mattress. One more breath here for us today. And you're going to use your hands to slowly bring your knees together, straighten your legs out. Roll a little bit, set the blanket to the side, and find what we call Shavasana in yoga. It's a rest pose, arms along the side, close the eyes. And I'm glad you gave yourself permission for 15 whole minutes. Namaste.